semi-final of the men's 400 metres. Well, we were just glancing through the athletes there on the outside. Matej Kresek, the Czech runner who won this morning in a very impressive 46.23. We're missing Inaki Kanyal in lane 5, unfortunately. No Spaniard in lane 5. Carl Bengtström, very fine runner, 2022 World Indoor Championships bronze medalist. On his inside, Alexander Doom, as you can see there in lane 3. Stalwart of many Belgian relay teams that have won medals both indoors and outdoors at European and global level. Marvin Bonavaccia, once again, a fine relay runner, a fine team man. Bonavaccia perhaps not quite in the same form as he's been in previous years, but still a tenacious competitor. And on the inside, João Coelho of Portugal. So first 3 go through to the final. No backdoor, no non-automatic qualifiers. 5 men in this race.
So all the athletes qualifying for the semi-final.
And it is indeed Kresek. You can hear the thundering behind him of Bengtström, but Kresek coming out very, very quickly indeed.
Pretty even though over the first 100 metres.
So now Bengtström absolutely flying through that first 100 metres. Hits the curb in 21.45, and it's Bengtström leading from Kresek and Doom. Bonavaccia and Coelho some way back now after a much slower first 200 metres. Bonavaccia struggling, but it's Bengtström absolutely flying around the bend. Kresek trying to close the gap. Doesn't need to worry at the moment because it's the first 3 to go through, and there's a bit of a gap between Bengtström, Kresek and Doom before we get to Lee Marvin Bonavaccia. Tried hard, the Dutchman, to get into the automatic qualifiers over the final 50 metres, but it was too much to make up. Plaudits go to Carl Bengtström. Bengtström rounding into form at exactly the right time, a season's best for him.
It's the first of the qualification rounds we've had on the track with no time qualifiers, and it's interesting. I think it's kind of fair because it does matter your ability to get that position. Should earn you a spot in the final. And Bengtström there looked imperious. I want to say that's the best he's looked all season, and he's just controlled that race from this front. I've been really impressed with Kresek today. He ran very bravely this morning, actually beating Huselos of Spain, and he's done so again here, and he's beaten Alexander Doom for me purely because he got himself into that second place at the belt.
45.77, a season's best for the Swede, who's also better known as a 400-metre hurdler. Outdoors, second place, Kresek of Czech Republic, and third, Alexander Doom of Belgium.
All these 400-metre runners ran this morning. Not soft qualification, but very accessible qualification with those non-automatic qualifying spots up for grabs, and suddenly, boom, here we go. 2 semi-finals, first 3 across the line. That is it. No hall passes, no lucky breaks. You've got to get yourself in the top 3. Carsten Vorholm will go in lane 6. He was the fastest qualifier. Wonderful gold he took back in 2019 at these championships, equalling the European record. We'll see that go in the final tomorrow. Julian Vatran of Belgium is the record holder over 400-metre hurdles. And he uses that 400-metre hurdle strength in the final stages because could he join teammate Alexander Doom in the final? Oscar Huselos ran really, really well at the Spanish National Championships, breaking the national record. Backed that up in Madrid. Been reports that he's been struggling with sickness since then, and that would make sense because this morning didn't look all that good. Giles Biron of France will go in lane 3. Another athlete judged his effort very well to sneak ahead in heat 3 and take the win. Kajetan Dynski of Poland goes in round in lane 2. It's a time qualifier in this morning's opening round.
And completing the lineup in the second semi-final.
Completing the lineup in the tight inside lane, Isaiah Bers of the Netherlands. He was quick through the bow in his heat. He was in one of the outside lanes, running without anyone else to gauge his effort on. Pushed himself all the way to the front. Did get overhauled by Bidon this morning. So the Dutch athlete fared better from that lane one, where you can have a look at the other athletes behind him. Karsten Voorholm was brilliant this morning, the only athlete to break 46 seconds. Yeah, has been looking after himself well in the last 8 or 9 hours or so. Karsten Voorholm could be on for a win here as well.
So Voorholm on the outside.
Right, away, no problems here. Karsten Voorholm already a gap over Julian Vatren. Karsten Voorholm stretching out on the back straight. Could we see something special here at this semi-final stage? Karsten Voorholm is fully fit, struggled with that hamstring injury last summer, was so frustrated. Came good in the end, winning the gold medal in Munich. 21:31 through the bell for Karsten Voorholm. Oscar Husilos looks much better than he did this morning. He's in second place at the moment. Julian Vatren does finish well though. The Spanish athlete trying to close up the gap on Karsten Voorholm. Voorholm for me just coasting here. Is he going to kick it in the last 50 metres? Karsten Voorholm is going to come away with the win. Vatren's going to nip Husilos for second place. All three men will qualify. 45:43. Wow, so that season's best for Karsten Voorholm. Not quite. Perhaps his second fastest time this season. Very nice for Karsten Voorholm. Looked like he ran hard for 150, maybe coasted for 150. And then kicked it in. National record for Julian Vatren. When you're from a country that's got the likes of Kevin Borlée and Jonathan Borlée and you run a national record, that is special.
Could he really be the first European under 45 seconds? He's the co-owner of the European best at 45:05 with Thomas Schlernleber, the great German runner who set that time back in the 80s. Voorholm, well, Hannah, I think you're absolutely right. He was just coasting that over the final 50-80 metres. He knew he'd got it, and it was just his momentum. Well, the rest behind them were battling, particularly Vatren and Husilos.
Semi-final 2, Karsten Voorholm, 45:43. National record in second for Julian Vatren of Belgium.
So it's all happening here at the Apeldoorn Arena, and we're just about to get ready for the presentation of the men's 400-metre finalists. Here we have Matej Kresek. He's a very impressive heat winner in 46:23, and then set a Czech indoor record, his personal best of 46:03. Julian Vatren set a Belgian indoor record of 45:82 in his semi-final. He's the Belgian 400 metres hurdles record holder. Carl Bengtström, great semi-final, running out from lane 3. 45:77 to win his semi. The defending champion from Spain, Oscar Husilos, has improved this year to a Spanish record of 45:58. And the great, the almost legendary Karsten Voorholm. His hurdles feats go almost without saying. Olympic champion and world champion back in 2019. World record holder after that run in Tokyo. And a championship record performance. Championship best, to be strictly accurate, for Sander Skotholm. Going from one Norwegian to the spotlight being shone on another. Karsten Voorholm. Can Voorholm challenge his European record, which he's co-holder of at 45:05? Looked majestic in his heat and semi-final. Only had 4 races this year. Big and emphatic wins for both of them. The full lineup from lane 2. Husilis of Spain, the defending European indoor champion. Matej Kresik, personal best in his semi-final for the Czech runner in lane 3. Belgian record holder Julian Voterin of Belgium in lane 4. The Swede, the very good hurdler and indoor runner Carl Bengtström in lane 5. And on the outside, it's Karsten Warholm, 2019 champion, co-holder of the European record. And Warholm is absolutely flying at the moment. Bengtström trying to stay with him. Also running well, Kresik in lane 3 at the moment. But there's no doubt at all as they head for the inside. It's Warholm at the front. And he's gone through the gears, the throttle's out, he's inside 21 seconds for the first 200 metres. The European record has got to be on after a first lap like that. Bengtström is trying to claw back the deficit, Watrin having a great run behind him, but it's 3 metres between Warholm and the rest of the field. Warholm's tying up, Watrin's getting up on his shoulder, but Warholm's just got enough in the tank. No European record, but a second European indoor gold to Karsten Warholm, 45.36, the second fastest time in Europe this year. The only man to beat it, Warholm himself in February when he ran 45.31. Another gold medal to the very, very extensive collection for this great 400 and 400 metre hurdler, Karsten Warholm.
Karsten Warholm always brings a lot of passion and energy to his performances. I don't think I've ever seen Karsten Warholm that tired at the end of the race. The hurdles are kind of deceptive. You have to maintain, you have to have a bit of energy left to get over the hurdles. But Karsten Warholm went for it, 20.85 through the first 200. And if I was his coach, you'd be kind of saying, come on Karsten, you've never really overcooked it. Let's have a go, let's roll the dice, see what happens. And Karsten Warholm, Bengtström was pulling him and Voterin back towards Karsten Warholm in the middle 100 metres. Battle of the 400 metre hurdlers here over the flat distance, won by Karsten Warholm. Voterin with a brilliant controlled finish here. You can see Bengtström starting to stretch, getting cheered on from the infield there, Michaela.
Well, just Karsten Warholm, 45.35, behind him by Julian Watrin, the bronze going to Sweden's Carl Bengtström at 45.77.